Hello, everyone. I'm going to go over how to multiply and cross cancel and reduce fractions to make it a little easier for you. So this is a kind of a neat activity because Mr. Batten next door, there's a little story to this once you figure out the answer. So when you do get the correct answer at the bottom of the page, just go ahead and cross out the letter that is above it. The answer to the question will remain. Make sure all your answers are in reduced form. So I'm not sure if you're having trouble reducing the fraction or if you're having trouble cross canceling, but I'm going to show you both methods to make sure that you do understand how to multiply fractions. Now, of course, if you don't know how to cross cancel, then of course you can multiply straight across the top, the numerators and then the denominators, but then you're going to have to reduce to lowest terms. So if you look at number one, you don't have any numbers that you can cross cancel. So in this case, I'm just going to multiply 1 times 3, which gives me 3, and 5 times 4 gives me 20. And that's already in lowest terms. So go to the bottom, look for that answer, and cross it out. Now, for the next problems, if you want to try it first, then pause the video and try it, and then check back with the video to see if you did it correctly. So let's look at number 2. You could either pause it now and try it, or just continue watching. But make sure you're understanding what I'm doing and not just copying down the answers. So if I just multiply straight across the top, I would get 15 over 90. But then you would have to know what to divide by, which the GCF, or the greatest common factor, is 15. And some of you may not know that automatically. That's a very large number. And when you do that, you get 1/6. 1/6 is the answer. It is in lowest terms, but an easier way to get there, let's look at the cross numbers, cross products. So if you have a 3 and a 9, basically what you're doing, you're cross canceling or just reducing 3/9. And how would you reduce 3/9? Well, you would divide by 3 top and bottom. When you divide by 3, you get 1/3. So that's really what you're doing. You're reducing 3/9. Well, 3 becomes now a 1, so you're going to cross that out. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 gives you 3. So 9 divided by 3 gives you 3. So that is your new denominator. I'm going to use a different color. Now, look at 5 and 10. Well, think of 5 and 10 as a fraction. What would you divide by to top and bottom to reduce the fraction? Well, I know I can divide by 5. Well, when you do that, you get 1 over 2, correct? Well, 5 divided by 5 is now 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Now look what happens. You multiply the 1 times the 1, which gives you 1. You multiply 3 times the 2, which gives you 6. So it automatically puts it in lowest terms for you. Now again, do what makes you feel comfortable, but I would like for you to try to understand what I'm doing. All right, so go ahead and try number 3 and then play the video when you're ready. So number 3, I'm going to look at the cross products. I can't do anything with an 8 and 5, right? They cannot be reduced, but 2 and 10 can be reduced. 2/10 can be reduced, and I know I can divide by 2. When I divide by 2, I would get what? 1/5. Well, what happens? 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. 10 divided by 2 gives you 5. Now, I can't do anything with the 8 and 5, so I'm just going to multiply straight across the top, which is 8, and across the denominators would give me 25. Now, if I didn't do that and I multiplied straight across, 8 times 2 would give you 16, and 10 times 5 would give you 50. You would then have to divide by 2 to get it in lowest terms, which is 8 over 25. All right, try number 4, and then pause the video, and then come back when you're ready. Number 4, if I multiply straight across the top, I would get 60, and across the bottom 120. Then I would have to divide by either 2 or 10 or 5 But the greatest common factor, believe it or not, is 60. So if you didn't know that, it might take you several attempts to reduce it in lowest terms. When you do that, you get 1/2. But if you cross cancel, I can reduce 5/15, right? What could you divide by? 5. So divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So all I'm doing is 5 divided by 5 is now 1. 15 divided by 5 is now 3. Now, 12/8 or 8/12. Let's use a different color. This one's a little different, okay? What can you divide by with an 8 and a 12? How about a 4? Well, if I divide by 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is now 3, correct? Now, this one does not take it to lowest terms because 3 times 1 is 3, I'm just going to put it here, 3 6, right? Well, 3/6 then reduces to 1/2. So you would have to divide by 2. All right, try number 5. Pause the video. For this one, if you multiplied straight across the top, you would get 90 over 225. Now, I don't know about you, but 25 times 9 is a very large number. So what I'm going to do is look at the cross products. I know that I could reduce 5 over 25. And how do I do that? 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. I could also divide and reduce 9/18. Well, if you have 9 over 18, you can divide by 9. So divide them both by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. And 18 divided by 9 is what? 2. So now, that doesn't look like a 2. Let me fix that. So now this is a 2. 2 times 1 is 2. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now, if I wanted to just use 90 over 25, you would have to keep reducing and dividing by 5. Or the greatest common factor, believe it or not, is 45. And you probably didn't know that. That would take you a while to get it into lowest terms, which is 2/5. All right, now number 6 is a little different. You see a whole number. Whenever you see a whole number, you're going to just put 10 over 1. Just put a 1 under it because 10 divided by 1 is 10. So if you want to rewrite that, it's 10 over 1 times 1 over 5. Again, look at your cross products. Can you reduce 5/10? Yes, I can. I can divide by 5. So what are you going to change the 5 to? So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you're going to change your 5 and your 10. So 5 divided by 5, we said was 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that becomes a 2. So now multiply your new numbers. 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. Now, when you see 2 over 1, 2 divided by 1 is 2. So just write the whole number. All right, number 7, you're going to do it the same way. Go ahead and try number 7 on your own. Pause the video. So when you multiply 2/3 times 6, I'm going to put a 1 under it. And I'm going to use my cross products. I could reduce 3/6 to 1/2. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 over 1 equals 4. All right, last one, number 8. If I want to multiply straight across, I'm going to get 70 over 168. And I have to keep dividing probably by 2 until I get to my reduced answer. But again, let's look at your cross products, a 7 and a 21. Can you reduce 7 over 21? Yes, I could divide by the GCF, which is 7. When I divide both of them by 7, I get 1 over 3. So the 7 divided by 7 is now 1, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. Now, can you reduce 8/10? Well, 8/10. Just write 8/10 here. What can you divide by? Well, it's an even number, so why don't you divide by 2? 8 divided by 2 is 4, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that looks like it's in lowest terms. So now cross out the 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So what is your new answer? 1 times 5 is 5, and 4 times 3 is 12, and that's in lowest terms. Well, if you didn't know how to cross cancel, you would get 70 over 168. And you would have to keep dividing by 2 to get it to 5/12. Or the greatest common factor is 14. And that would get it into lowest terms. So the bottom line is when you're multiplying fractions, you have to decide which method works for you. And the only way to get better at it is that you do have to practice and you have to take your time. So if you still need help, please let us know. Go ahead and figure out why is Mr. Batten's favorite fast food restaurant Chick-fil-A, because he